I just left the restaurant, had some coffee, so we have a guy, interesting truck. So it's a regular Alberta truck, short wheelbase, but this guy has a, so it's a massive 65-ton flat deck. So we have a tandem Jeep, tandem Stinger. Like, look at the tires on this thing. And tandem trailer. Check this out. There's no airbags because this is the West Coast. No airbags. And the driver said when you run empty, you have to put the board in there, but when you load it, you take the board out and you have to leave a gap in there. And this is how the weight gets transferred to that Stinger. The Stinger gets hooked up in here, and it's all California illegal because it's all automatically regulated. You know, like he says, so he's gonna run 2 + 2 + 2, and he says when he's loaded and everything is properly hooked up and shimmed, he's within the axles are within 200 pounds of each other. You know, it works. So that's what I need to go into California. And some people, I know a guy in Oklahoma, he runs trailers like that, West Coast design like that. The way the Stinger is connected, you know, under the trailer, that's the West Coast, right? And I like that cool looking fuel truck. See, like this place, I should have went in there. That's also their parking, but it's hard to see unless you know where to look. You know, when you come in, it's all confusing, all these rocks in here. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna snow, but it's not snowing yet. But actually, I like my budget design, you know, like mine stuff works, right? See, and it's my trailer is pretty flexible too. Even though I cannot go into California, but I can do 3 + 1, I can do 2 + 2, I can do quad, or now I can do 3 + 2. I mean, I can do 3 + 1, 2 + 2, 3 + 2, quad, try them. You know, so it's a good trailer too. And I'm modular, so I can do deck inserts. I can change decks, right? 60-ton, pretty good trailer. So anyway, what's happening now is I'm just waiting for the guy to call me back with that mechanic over there. So what's the time now is 10:40. Let's see, last time I talked to him, let me see, so 10:37, last time I talked to him was 8:27. Oh, it's been 2 hours. Well, I'll wait a little bit. If he doesn't call me, I'll have to call him back. But yeah, I knew this guy. He works from this trucker. He's a company driver for a heavy haul company in Canada. A very knowledgeable guy. He does all kinds of crazy loads, big, small. But that trailer, you see, this company, they never, from what I know, because I met this guy before, and each time they change the trailer specifically for the job at hand. Like if the job only requires, let's say, 24 inches in the well, they will not send the truck with 30 feet in the well unless they have to, you know, because the longer you are, the more permits and pilots you need, right? So it all costs money. So So that's why, of course, now I'm not too happy that, you know, I'm 107 feet long. But with this trip, it's not a big deal because I did not need a pilot in Alberta. I did not need a pilot in Saskatchewan. I don't need one in North Dakota. I don't need one in South Dakota. But this other load, I was talking to a guy. The guy has that Cat 336 in the south. If I take that one, there's no way for me to avoid pilots altogether. I would need 3 pilots. 1 in the state where I would be loading, and then 2 in Michigan on the way to Canada. Because Michigan, once you're over 100 feet long, you need 2. Well, at least over there they don't charge you $1.70 per kilometer. They charge you usually like $1.55 US per mile. So 2 pilots, so $3.10 a mile. So it's still gonna be like $800, $900. Yeah, I called that mobile mechanic. He was not answering, but he called me back right now. He says maybe 20 minutes more, 20-30 minutes. So I still have the check engine light. And I said, you want me to go to the shop or you can stop by here? I said, I just don't want to pay for, you know, mobile service call. And he says, no, I'm not gonna charge you for the service call. He says, I'll charge you for diagnostics. I said, okay, that's fine. So he's gonna come here. I said, I'm sitting in the south side of the parking lot next to a bakery place. I know it's some kind of a bakery warehouse over there. And he knew exactly what I was talking about. He said, okay, I'll be there probably 30-40 minutes. So now I gotta sit tight. And then so it's basically almost 12 o'clock my time, so it's only 11 here. So hopefully it's nothing serious. It's something I can still drive with and then get it fixed when I'm back in Ontario. Would be cheaper. And if everything is okay, then I'm gonna leave and drive 4 hours to Fargo. And I'm gonna end the day at the Petro truck stop in Fargo. And it feels almost like summer, because you see that magic number +1 Celsius. So now we're at 33, 34 F. So I think just a couple of degrees more and I can start wearing my beach sandals and my swimming trunks, you know, and a tank top. Well, that's not, I'm not sure. Wait a second, I cannot drive like that. You see that thing on top of the engine with the proud lettering black on gray, PACCAR. So basically, and this is the part number, and this is the filter. It was much dirtier before. We had it cleaned with the air, but this is a very weird looking filter. Look, it looks pretty clean on this side, but it was pretty dirty. Because yeah, I noticed that my gauge was like coming up there, you know, like 6 and under load, and I knew I had to change it, but like I said, I forgot to do it. But here's what happened. What happened is that the guy came out. I waited like a couple of hours. The guy came out. I took out the plug in there, and he hooked up his little dongle, and he had a tablet like with a Wi-Fi, you know. And so he didn't have to have a wired connection, so he just put it on my trailer. I was parked next to my trailer, and of course at first he couldn't log in, and I'm thinking, oh man, or it's not letting me in. And I'm like, wait, I can do this at any shop. So if you have the if that's the standard shop software, it should work. Like there's no password, right? It's not like, you know, I don't know, some top secret cell phone where you cannot log in to change parameters. So anyway, eventually he was able to log in by the engine. He has a bunch of family of engines in there, and he chose Cummins X15, and the software finally allowed him in, And right away we saw this. We saw this error code 687, moderate to severe. It said speed lower, like data is valid, meaning that the sensor is reading correctly, but the speed was below normal range, the speed of the turbo. And this is what actually caused the amber light. And then the second one that didn't throw a light, but it showed two errors. This one was the first, that's the one that's responsible for the check engine light. But the second one was temperature was above, like, yeah, below normal RPM. This is still about one error. But the second one was temperature above standard. And this guy says, oh yeah, so, and he says, well, I think your bearing is throwing oil there. And I said, I don't think it's oil. I thought it was just air, you know, and then hot air, and then some dirt got in there. He says, oh, you see this? You need a new bearing. And I said, okay, how much is the new bearing? And he says, well, these things are very delicate. He says it spins at 25,000 RPM. You cannot just take out a bearing and then put it back in and put a new in, because he says then things will be out of balance and it'll explode. So basically I said, what, you cannot replace parts inside the turbo? And this guy says, no, you need a new turbo. I said, that's nice. Do you think I'll have enough power left, enough life left in the turbo to finish the trip? Because I need to finish the trip so I can get paid, and then I can maybe get a used slightly rusted turbo. And then we just walk around, shoot the breeze, you know. I told him about my YouTube channel. We took a picture in front of the truck. Nice guy. And the hood was still open, and he points to the air filter, and he says, how about your, and he stopped, and I said, what are you referring to? You're pointing at what, air filter? He says, yeah. I said, I was thinking about that, because I did the oil change, right? Just 8,000 clicks ago, 5,000 miles. Everything, no oil is new, differentials were checked, everything is good, the oil filter, the water filter, separator. But the only thing I forgot was this ugly air filter. And I know it's been there a while, and I went through summer, and of course summers are, you know, lots of dust in the air, right? And he says, that can do it. So what do you mean? He says, oh yeah, that can, if your turbo is not getting enough air, it can run hotter than normal, and because it doesn't get enough air, it cannot create enough speed, and so the RPM will be lower than normal, which can give you this. And I said, holy moly, thank you, sir. So now I have some hope that it's not the turbo, it's just this thing over here. And so I asked him if he can do it. He says he doesn't have access to parts. And I said, well, this place is open, so I just drove over here. And there's a very nice lady, Corey, working inside, the one who gave me this mobile mechanic phone number. And I said, Brett said he doesn't have access to parts on the weekend. And she says, why would he say that? I'm his parts girl. And she says, we're open till 2. But of course she goes in and she only has one air filter, and I open the box and it's round, you know, and I say, and she cannot, I gave her the part, I gave her my VIN number, she cannot find anything. So it always happens, you know, like it's like your truck is like was produced in a single quantity and nobody else has this engine. It's a unique truck, it's probably imported from Mexico. All the parts are in metric, you know, and we are North Dakota. So anyway, she cannot find the filter. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get out there and roll up my sleeves, and I'm gonna take off the cover of the air filter box. And you would think that a truck that cost me 244,000 Canadian dollars, there would be some kind of a quick, kind of like a snap-on, snap-off type of deal where you can just unsnap it and change the filter. No, there's 4 bolts like this big. Okay, I found it's metric 10 size. I took off the top ones, but then you have 2 at the bottom. Okay, the one on the left was difficult with the same little wrench I did, but the one at the bottom right, it's impossible because there's cables in there. It's too close to the engine. It's like this much space, so you need a, you know, you need a proper tool with a long, you know, transition. And I forgot about it, that I have that little extension tube, and I used that, and slowly I was able to get out that 4th bolt, and I go in with this filter, and Corey says, I've been working here 5 years, I never saw a filter like that. And I mean, it's funny, right? It's funny. Why is it always happening to me? Like, you know, I had an International like that, right? I had a Mac. Whenever you show up somewhere, people say, oh man, we cannot cross-reference that. We never saw a part like this. Like, what the heck? Is this are you sure it's International? Are you sure it's a Mac? And I said, Corey, it's a Kenworth truck, one of the biggest truck manufacturers in the world, and it has a Cummins engine. And she says, I never saw a filter like that. I said, well, we are learning every day, you know, you and me both, because I never saw a filter like that either. Well, except on a car, you know, it looks a bit similar, like on a car. Some cars, they would have a flat one like this, but check this out. This one, look at the size of this thing. This is all an air filter. Like, look how huge it is, right? It's just covered by this little material in here, but this is the part where the air comes in, and yeah, this was very dirty. But on this side it's okay, so I thought maybe I could even cut off the top or something here, you know, because probably this much is dirty, the rest is clean. Because if you cut off this part, you know, but of course that can throw some papers, and all this material can go in the turbo, then I would definitely need a new turbo. Because the Brad said, oh man, that thing spins at 25,000 RPM. If you change the bearing and it's just slightly out of balance, that turbo will explode on you. And he says, Kenworth, they always under manufacture something. They don't want you to have one turbo for the entire life of the truck, so they make it so that it'll fail within 3-4 years, so that you can buy another part. You know, like all mechanics have these conspiracy theories. It doesn't make them true or not true, I don't know. He probably has more experience with truck breakdowns, but we'll see. So, oh, and so what happening, she called the Freightliner. Of course, they cannot reference this filter. It doesn't translate into any parts they know. They call auto parts, what they call it, you know, like all these part suppliers. And then she says, okay, one last possible solution is, she says, call Kenworth. There is a Kenworth dealer here, small Kenworth. It's much smaller than Freightliner. And she said, and I said, it's closed. And she says, yeah, I know, but if you call the number and you select the parts department, they will give you after hours parts department. And she says they charge $100 because the guy lives nearby. They charge you $100. If he can get you the part, he'll just charge you, you know, $100 on top of the cost of the part. And I said, okay, I'll do that, because I don't want to sit here till Monday. See, that's the Freightliner across the street, and there's Cummins over here, right? Cummins. So Cummins should have something, right? But they only open Monday. So I can, like, this is not the end of the world. What I can do is I can just put this back and just put one bolt in, drive back to my trailer and tell my dispatcher that, you know, I have to sit here till Monday. I'll say I'll have a breakdown, and then Monday I'll go get the part. I'm sure Cummins will have it. and then I'll drive all day Monday, because from here it's about 570 miles, and then I can deliver Tuesday. So now I told them I'm delivering Monday, so we're gonna lose one day, but they might not be too happy about that, but that's what I'll have to do, because I don't want to drive with this air filter, you know. I don't want to, because it can damage the filter, the turbo. I can get another check engine light, and you see, and it said over there the level was moderate to severe, you know. So it's not exactly like light, because usually that's, you know, when you have a light, it means that that thing was happening and happening and happening, and sooner or later, when that occurrence took place enough times, that's when the computer throws a code, right? Because if it just happens once, I don't think it'll alert you. But if it, I'm pretty sure it happened before, you know. Son of a gun. And I changed the Hello, Sergey.
Yes, Lyle Wallworks.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, that filter number that you gave me, I do not have.
Okay.
But when I look it up by serial number, I come up with a different number.
Okay.
I do have that one on hand.
So the phone, that's corresponds to my truck, right?
Right, yep, that goes off your serial number of your truck and it comes up. Yep.
Do you know what it looks like?
Yeah, yep.
Does it look like a rectangular box?
Yeah, it's probably, I'm guessing at this part, maybe 12 inches high, maybe a little taller, maybe 7 inches wide.
And the top rubber thing, does it go at an angle at the top?
Yeah, yep, there's something around of it, and it kind of angles. Yep.
Okay, then it's the proper one, because it's a
Yep,
really
sounds
weird.
like
What's the brand of yours? I'm just curious for the future.
Mine is Donaldson.
Also Donaldson?
Yeah. I couldn't get yours to, I mean, yours comes up, that number you gave me, but I don't have it. I couldn't get across anything else, but
maybe that's the old part, you know, because this truck is three and a half years old. Maybe somebody gave me like an old filter or something.
Possible. I couldn't get that to come, but yeah, but by VIN number, I did come up with this one.
Okay, so, but you know, worst case scenario, we can just see if it fits inside the box, right? If it doesn't fit, then I guess I'll wait till Cummins opens on Monday, right? Cummins should have it, right? Something.
You know, I don't know if they would or not.
Okay. Well, as long as
this is the right one.
Yeah, as long as you have my VIN number, that should be the proper one.
Correct. Yeah, it's actually a truck part, something Kenworth put on rather than Cummins.
Oh wait, so the air filters, you think these are the truck parts or engine parts?
They're a truck part.
Oh, yeah. It's a truck part. Okay, then it means that we have the proper one.
Yep.
Okay, the question is, how do I pay you? Can I pay you with a credit card, or how does it work?
Yeah, if I can get a credit card, do you have an account with us?
No, you know, I'm just passing through. I'm from Canada, so.
No, that's fine. I just got a setup account though. Let me just get in there and I can do that and I can get a credit card. And, so what was your name?
Yeah, it's Sergei Dratchev. I can spell it for you, 1 second. Well, the guy just came and dropped off the filter. It looks exactly the same, except it has a different part number. So it was 145 bucks and 75 bucks for the call. See, that's my old one. This is the new one. Power Core G3. I don't know, is it newer or older? What the deal with this? But that will have to do. So I hope it fits, because the guy already left. Probably like this, right? You see, that's what I meant. I needed this, and I found it in my tools. In my tool. Yeah, that's what it should be.